Hello everyone, welcome to this video. So you have probably come across this narrative that the PRINCE2 Practitioner exam is just a harder version of the foundation exam, right? More questions, tougher scenario, same skill, just sort of dialed up based on the difficulty level. Now, as your instructor, I need to tell you that that assumption is exactly what catches so many candidates off guard, even the ones who found the foundation exam just like a walk in the park. As an authorized trainer for PRINCE2 with Axelos and PeopleCert, I have coached candidates through both the exam levels, and I can tell you that the real difference has almost nothing to do with the difficulty level, okay? And it has got everything to do with what each exam is actually designed to test. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 nuances nobody really explains clearly about how these two PRINCE2 exams differ. So we'll cover the details from the exam format itself to the mindset shift that catches most candidates completely off guard during the PRINCE2 exam. And by the end of this video, that assumption you have been carrying into your PRINCE2 Practitioner exam preparation is now going to look very different. So if this is the kind of clarity you need on your PRINCE2 certification journey, make sure you subscribe to this channel and let's get the discussion started. So let's start with the first point. And this is the one that changes everything. I mean, questions every assumption, right? The foundation exam is 60 minutes. 60 questions, closed book. No manual, no notes, just you and your memory on the principles, the practices, and the processes of PRINCE2, right? It's testing whether you understand the framework and if you are able to recall the specific terms and terminologies, full stop. However, the practitioner exam looks completely different, right? It's 70 questions, 2.5 hours, and it's open book. You are allowed to bring your official PRINCE2 manual within the exam with you. Now that on the surface sounds easier, right? Well, hold that thought because that's exactly where most candidates go wrong, okay? The practitioner exam isn't testing what you remember anymore. It's testing whether you can apply PRINCE2 to a realistic, quite challenging project scenario and justify your decisions through reasoning. Two completely different exams within the same PRINCE2 framework. And interestingly, never even think that just because the PRINCE2 practitioner exam is open book, it is an easier exam and you will be able to find all the answers within the book itself, because that would be a horrible mistake, okay? So we'll discuss that further along this video. Now, as an authorized training organization for PRINCE2 with Axelos and PeopleCert, I have designed a full range of resources to support you through your learning journey, okay? Starting from free PRINCE2 guides to help you get started, right through mock simulators and mock exams and complete training courses for your PRINCE2 exam as well. So if you are preparing for your PRINCE2 exam, I would recommend that you check the description section of this video for the relevant links, or you can drop an email to my team on this email ID and we can help you to get started. Moving on, the mindset trap, and it genuinely catches out experienced professionals who are planning for the PRINCE2 certification. So as I was saying, many candidates walk into the practitioner exam thinking that I've got the manual right here, right? So worst case, I'll probably just look up everything within the book, right? And that assumption alone can cost you your entire exam. Because here's the thing, right? You don't have the time to look everything up within the manual, okay? You are working through a detailed project scenario across 70 questions in 2.5 hours. That's roughly 2 minutes or 120 seconds per question. And if you are flipping through a 300 plus pages manual for every single question, every single time, think about it, very obviously, long before you are able to complete all the questions. So the manual isn't really there to teach you PRINCE2 during the exam, okay? As simple as that. It's there to help you verify what you already know quickly and efficiently. And that's a completely different skill to build during your exam preparation. Because if you think about it, open book makes candidates complacent, and complacency is what actually makes or breaks your exam. Next, let's talk about what each exam is actually measuring, right? Because this is where the real gap lies. The foundation exam is checking one thing. Do you understand PRINCE2 framework of project management or not? Its principles, its practices, and its processes. That's it. Quite straightforward recall, dressed up sometimes in some tricky question wording. That's it. So then, what is the practitioner exam checking instead? So it's checking whether you can take that same knowledge and apply it to an unfolding project situation and justify why one course of action makes more sense than another. So to give you a relatable example, knowing what a risk register is, that is foundation level thinking. However, deciding which risks actually warrant escalation to the project board under real pressure with real consequences, that's practitioner level thinking. So that's the real difference, okay? Very few education providers spell it out for you. However, if you are watching my videos, now you are aware of it and you can plan your preparation accordingly. Now moving on, this next point explains why so many candidates walk into the practitioner exam with the false sense of confidence, okay? So why doesn't a strong foundation exam predict a pass for the practitioner exam as well? Well, think about it this way. Foundation rewards memorization. So if you are naturally good at retaining information, you can definitely score well on your foundation exam without ever really being tested on the judgment part of the actual PRINCE2 framework. However, practitioner doesn't care how well you have memorized the manual, okay? Instead, it cares whether you can read a scenario, spot what's actually going wrong with that project, and pick the response that PRINCE2 would justify, not just the one that sounds obvious, okay? And those are genuinely the two different skill sets that separate out the practitioner exam from the foundation exam. So finally, the million-dollar question is, how should your preparation actually adapt between the two exams, right? So this is how it should be. For foundation, your priority is structured repetition, okay? Working through the manual systematically, testing your recall with practice questions as much as possible, and drilling to the terms and terminologies until it becomes your second nature. So it's a memory exercise, so please treat it like one. However, for PRINCE2 Practitioner, memorization alone won't get you there, okay? You need to practice scenario-based questions specifically. So the kind of questions that hand you a messy and challenging project situation and you are asked to justify a decision based on a situation. So you need to get comfortable navigating the manual quickly, of course not reading it, but navigating it, so that you can verify an answer in seconds, if not in minutes, in case you are unsure of, okay? So you can use my mock exam simulators to prepare for your PRINCE2 Practitioner exam with the same style of questions that you will sort of experience in the actual exam, okay? So the link will be in the description section of this video in case you are interested. So please adapt your study method deliberately when you move from the foundation exam to the practitioner exam. Please note that this might be the same certification, same manual, but they are two very different exams and your preparation needs to reflect that. Thank you for watching. I hope you have liked the video. Please press the like button, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you again in the next video.